So where do we start? We have to develop an understanding of the site and the brief. If we begin with the site, we must consider its constraints, its history and the surrounding context. Does the site have a current use, or has it had a specific use in the past that you may draw on for the design purposes?
I've been out travelling around looking for a site, to find a good site, taking photographs of the site, plenty of photographs from all angles.
My contribution to this project was to create some form of shelter that was in keeping with the general design influences as agreed by the rest of the group. After initial discussions had determined which location we were going to use and the guiding design principle that we were going to populate the space based on the notion of a walk along the beach.
Mike here. We're going to begin this second video with explaining a bit of the process which we are going to go through to create this water feature for our park. The first aspect that we're going to cover is the understanding. So we need to appreciate the actual task, everything about the project as much as we can beforehand to allow us to get our best ideas forward.
We also need to observe how people currently use the site on a daily basis, and are there already preferred routes across the site? These are known as desire lines.
One of the earliest practical tasks was to create a site plan to scale. This information was imperative for all four designers, and for me specifically, it allowed me to begin the process of modelling the basic scene in Revit architecture. The creation of this site plan early on for me was crucial because it allowed me to insert the site plan into Revit architecture, which I could model from.
Are there any informal activities or events that happen on or nearby the site that may need to be considered in the design? Our site is currently used as a passage through two building plots to access the town centre. The existing use should be respected in our design proposals. As well as understanding the site, we also have to understand the brief. Our brief describes inspiration for the design as an oasis of relaxation which should promote a feeling of tranquility and relaxation. Some of the things we have been directed towards for inspiration here are the beach, the movement of the water and the physicality of the coastline. Everything here can act as inspiration, from the sand and the seaweed, the pebbles, the concrete retaining walls or the pier. Even the wind and the tides ebb and flow. So we must understand our brief and our inspiration, but we must also understand the users of the site. When you're designing, you need to imagine how a user will interact with and move through the site.
We decided to use as our guiding theme the phrase "a walk along the beach." At our very first discussion, we had 2 or 3 different locations that we could have worked with, and for a number of reasons we decided to go with the town centre location, which incorporated the walkway from the car park through to the town's main street. Another important thing to get clarified early on was the division of tasks. Luckily in this project we had 4 quite distinct elements to the brief and 4 designers. The whole group felt that we couldn't really go very far until we had a properly worked out, scaled site plan.
There are a lot of points here to think about, so we need to start researching, start sketching and start documenting as we begin to develop our design.